Well, hey there, Sharon Horne-Ellstrom here. Let's talk about how to save for a rainy day in order to save, protect, and supersize your business. Now, save for a rainy day. This is a very popular, interesting idiom. I've heard it my entire life. Practice my life, but there have been periods, of course, where I wasn't necessarily for the future or putting things away for the future. Times when I was building my businesses, I was reinvesting, not necessarily saving and building up a nest egg or a retirement plan or a buffer in case things went south. Now, what does save for a rainy day mean? The idiom, of course, since the 16th century, a rainy day has been used to describe some type of time of need or misfortune or affliction or problems or hardships that people face. And human beings since the beginning of time have known that life is not always smooth sailing, even before sailing was a thing. We know that things go up and down, right? Things are always changing. One of the things we can count on in our lives and in our existence is changing around us and to us and involving us or not. If 2020 has taught us anything, it is that no matter how much we plan and prepare, very few of us are actually 100% ready, able to deal with something as big and as overwhelming as a pandemic, right? Actually thought pandemic in your contingency plans. I've done contingency plans for corporations that I work for my own businesses, and not one, they had disasters like tornadoes and or flooding things in them, weather-related things, but they never ever had a pandemic. We had terrorism was added since 9/11, but for the most part, I don't think a global health scare situation was in. I don't think it was in any of the contingency plans that I previously created. I doubt it was in, and it maybe was in insurance policies. I don't know if you, but business insurance policies, mine always came about this thick, so I didn't read them all, and they know we don't read them all, right? As business owners, we barely have time to get done, much less reading legal documents and tons of stuff. Now, I don't recommend that. I recommend having someone read your insurance policies, having someone always read and advise you on your contracts, but that's a topic for another day. Saving for a rainy day. I've talked to so many business owners during COVID and now with the other things that are going on with, I guess let's call it social unrest and rioting and things. There's even more uncertainty going on. So as businesses in my area were just starting to open up, we had the rioting, and prior to that we had a couple of months of being shut down, many of them for the pandemic. Now, I do know businesses, and I have friends that are business owners that actually have and had a 6-month financial reserve ahead of time to keep their business going and to keep everything going in, no matter what would happen. They just had a fund where 6 months was set aside, and financial advisors recommend, hey, you should always have 3 to 6 months of buffer set aside in case something, in case your family gets sick, in case you get in an accident, which is really, really sound advice. Yet, how many people, how many Americans, how many anybody act at any given time? A very, very tiny fraction of the population, right? So what can we do? How can we make sure we set our business up and our lives up for success so that no matter what happens, we're going to be okay? There's 3 steps you can take. And I like to break things down to 3 steps because 3 is easy to do and it seems manageable. The first thing, and probably if you do this will take care of everything else, is you're going to figure it out. You've got everything you need already inside you to figure out and solve any problem that ever have to be resourceful. And as long as we are open-minded and resourceful and know that we can figure things out and that we can, find the right person, find what we need, we'll be fine. I was moving right at the beginning. My ex-husband closed on our old property the week everything shut down for the pandemic. So, normally you got stuff in the pantry and you're prepared and you're planned for fluctuations and things, and I can't get to the store this week, but we'll have bread in the freezer and eggs and water and all the things that we want to actually survive. Well, I had done a massive pantry purge as part of the move and was in my new place, but hadn't gone to the store or anything, because I was actually here out of town for my birthday, and boom, everything blew up. Came back, everything was shut down. So guess what? Did I panic? There's peanut butter and noodles in the pantry. If I had to, I could live on peanut butter and noodles. Well, I knew that I would figure it out. And of course, piece by piece, bit by bit, things. I'm trying to think of needed that I absolutely had to have. And I don't think so. Entered this pandemic very unprepared. So it just goes to show you that if you believe and know with 100% certainty that you can be resourceful and figure it out, you can weather anything. But you have to want to. That's the second thing, I think, is the desire and the vision. If you maintain the desire and the vision of where you want to go and where you're going with your company, anybody that's ran a business or had a business for any amount of time knows that there are so many factors and so many things out there to learn how to respond and be prepared to what are we going to do if X happens? What are we going to do if Y happens? In manufacturing, I had a manufacturing business for 35 years, and stuff's always changing in that, right? The regulated industry, food industry, always changing, right? Always changing, always evolving. People's interpretation of what the regulations mean, kind of like the tax codes, right? It's subject to suppliers, vendors, in and out of favor, in and out of quality, acceptable for our manufacturing. So how we do things, if we're paying attention, should be continually improving. We're always looking at our own processes and systems and making sure that they're getting better. So I've lost track of what number I was on. Probably number 2 was the contingency plan. Have a contingency plan, knowing that it is not possible to have a contingency plan that entails everything. To be flexible and open-minded and know that you'll figure it out, and resourceful. And the third thing is put smart systems in place. Now, insurance, there's a lot of discussion in my neck of the woods about insurance and all the businesses that have been burnt down and vandalized due to the rioting, and a huge topic, a huge, very emotionally charged topic for everybody, right? But what's going to happen to those businesses? And everybody's, the pat answer on social media was, that's what's insurance for. That's why you pay your monthly premiums. Guess what? Acts of terrorism are not covered by insurance. Rioting has been classified as an act of terrorism. So for all the people that don't own a business and think insurance, and you'll have one covered. So a lot of the businesses that were impacted and were damaged and destroyed during this rioting and this time in our country probably aren't going to be covered in insurance. Those owners that their business destroyed, don't be naive enough to think and check your insurance policies to make sure that what is probably likely to happen in your area, and now we know we need to add rioting to the list, is covered in your policies. Make sure that you have bank accounts with a reserve. Make sure you have some kind of a reserve, financial resources, whatever kind of resources you need for the fluctuations in your market, and for, guess what, those possible spikes and outliers. Statistically figure it out, weigh your risks and benefits, and make sure that you're planning accordingly for your specific type of business. So that's it. That's my take on how to do things, how to put things in place to protect, safeguard, and supersize your business no matter what happens. Knowing that the one for sure thing that's going to happen in each and every one of our licensed businesses is that we're going to need to have contingency plans and to save for a rainy day, because there's always going to be, but there's also going to be times when, and even good sunny times, massive growth spurts have caused some of the biggest challenges in my business and in my life, more so than bad times happening, because we don't have necessarily the reserve to catch up and stay caught up with the demanding growth. There's a lot of businesses experiencing that right now as well. That's it. Have an amazing day. I'm going to go enjoy the beautiful sunny day at the cabin. I will be with you tomorrow for another interesting idiom. What does it mean? Where did it come from? And how might you apply it to your business? Take care. Bye.